Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Glad to be back with you. I'm actually live. It is right here. I'm East Coast Standard Time in the DMV, Washington, D.C. It is 12:25 p.m. So I guess if you are over in West Africa, it's probably about 5:25 or 6:25, just depending on where you are. And then if you go on over to East Africa, put 7:25 on that 8:25 p.m. If you're West Coast USA, you are what 3 hours behind, so 9:25. So anyway, wherever you're watching from, glad to have you tuning in. And I know we're on a couple of different platforms. We're on our Facebook, we're on YouTube, and I am glad to be able to share with you a couple things that you do see right there to my, well, I don't know which one, this my left. The Black Travel Expo coming up June 2nd through June 5th, 2022 at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis, and I will be one of the keynote speakers. And of course, I'm going to be talking about traveling to Africa, its importance, and why we should add it to our travel plans for vacations, birthday destinations, wedding destinations, anywhere on the continent that you would like to travel to. I believe if you have the right tour company leading you, if you have the right information, you have a great time. That's just like going anywhere else in the world, So that's I'm going to be talking about that. And so please be sure to join me in Atlanta, June 2nd through the 5th, 2022. I'm looking forward to that. Also coming in Ghana, when I go back to Ghana in March, we're going to do my first Ghana meetup. I've been meeting so many people. If you look at my video, I talked about getting spotted all over the place in Ghana. Well, I want to be able to meet you live and in person. And so we will be sharing details about the Ghana meetup. And if you want to join me in Ghana and you're outside of Ghana, you can join me March 25th through April 1st, and we're going to be talking more about this. We have a lot of Ghana tours coming up this year, but in particular, you can join me in Ghana this coming March, and we're going to really have a great time. Once again, everything we do in Ghana, we have a great time. And I also have coming up Tanzania. That's right. Tanzania, get on the wait list because Tanzania is technically sold out. But get on the wait list because what we're able to do is start, as people are more interested, we can add more room based upon availability. So get on that wait list. Egypt, sold out. Get on the wait list. All right. So that's another thing. If you want to go with us to Egypt in October 8th through the 16th, you can do that. Get on the wait list, and then we'll open up a space for you if it is still available. Same thing with Tanzania. We're working on Nigeria for August. And that is what I'm going back to Nigeria in April to lay the groundwork for that. A lot of people have been hitting me up saying they want to go to Nigeria. They're like, Nigeria. And I understand many people have been hesitant because they don't understand how to navigate Nigeria, a country with over 200 million people. And it's just a massive place. And you want to be able to go with the right people who've, put their, done their due diligence and put their work in to make sure that you have a great experience in Nigeria. It's just a massive place. I love Lagos. I loved Lagos. I was telling somebody yesterday how much I love Lagos because I blended in so well. And anytime I meet Nigerians here in the States, now it's a different kind of conversation. In the past, I was clueless. But when I start hitting them with, language from so especially if they're from Lagos, I said, so where are you from? Are you from the mainland or are you from the island? At that point, they already know, oh, wait a minute, what you know about that? What you know about that? So starts the conversation. And Yoruba's deep in America. That's all I got. I've been running into so many Yoruba folks. And but then when I tell them, I said, but everybody was mistaking me for being Igbo when I was in Nigeria. They're like, yeah, you do look, so it's just really cool. That's all I can say. And I look forward. It's going to be a small group. We are not taking 50 people to Nigeria. We're not even taking 20 people to Nigeria. We're probably going to cap it out right at 10. But you will have my full and undivided attention, and we will have a great time. That's one thing for sure. We're going to tour Lagos. We're going to go to Abuja, and then we have Calabar. We're going to go there. We have some other places that we're looking to go, 3 different stops in Nigeria. So that's on the way. So we got Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Egypt, and that's what kicked this thing off. Now I'm gonna get into this whole the a couple other things that I have coming up, but we want to talk about it. Now I need to know where to go next because we have Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, Egypt on lock. All right, so those are there. I was like, well, what's the next destination? And so I put this poll out, and when I put this poll out, and I'll share the large screen, then I'll share the micro screen of it because you won't be able to see a lot of it. But but here I put this out. Which African country, aside from Ghana, Tanzania, Egypt, Nigeria, should be next on the Maximum Impact Africa Travel Experience? So you all cannot see that right there. All right, you just can't. You have to get a microscope or something or binoculars. So what I did was I screenshotted it and I said, well, let me blow this up a little bit so people can see it. So here we go right here. All right, so right here, these are the countries. Now, these are not all of the African countries, and so these are not all of the African countries, just to let you know. These are the ones that showed up the most in our surveys over the time that we've been doing research. So this is what we have in first place right now, Senegal. Senegal is holding it down in first place. And then right behind Senegal, you have Cameroon, South Africa, Kenya. And then right after that, we have Ethiopia, Seychelles, Zimbabwe. So you can kind of see how this is all shaking out, that Sierra Leone is there coming in, creeping up, and Liberia entered later. So that's and we did get a few votes for Liberia. So Liberia entered in later. So it's not that it's zero, it's just that it came in later. But I can tell you right now, based upon this, let me tell you what we're working on. Let me tell you how this is going to shake out. Let me come back on the screen for this one right here. Let me tell you how this is going to shake out. All right. From looking at this, now I will say I did expect a couple of countries to be a little bit higher that are not higher. Like I expected Morocco to be a little bit higher. And I expected, let me see. I expected Angola to be a little bit higher too. And Namibia, I did expect a little bit higher. But hey, you know what? This is one sample of one group of people. I expected Ivory Coast to be a little bit higher. But this is just one sample of people, and you can still vote. So that's why if somehow, it was something's missing. And this is if you're interested, in going to these places. What should we add next? So looking at this, I always hear Senegal. Senegal always, always, always comes up in the conversation. Kenya always comes up in the conversation. I was just in Kenya. I understand why it comes up in the conversation. I really had a great time in Mombasa and Nairobi. And so what I'm looking at doing with Kenya, this is what I'm looking at. I've been to Ethiopia. I love Ethiopia as well. Have not been to the Seychelles, but I keep hearing Seychelles pop up. So what I'm thinking about doing, because we already have Tanzania, and Tanzania is going to be a spectacular. When I tell you what I have coming up for Tanzania, oh boy, it is something special. I'm working on something really, really special for Tanzania. It's, this is a special year for me, and so I'm just going for it. And so Tanzania I got something really special for Tanzania. All right, I'm looking at Kenya, doing a package, Kenya, Ethiopia, Seychelles. And it'll probably be like a 13, 14-day experience. And what we'll do is we'll break it up for people who just want to do Kenya, and they just want to do Kenya, that's fine. We'll layer it so you can pick. You can say, all right, I just want to do Kenya. I don't want to do Ethiopia, or I don't want to do Seychelles. And some of this is based upon people's budgets. But some people are going to say, look, I want to do all three. I want to go Kenya, Ethiopia, and Seychelles. And then, of course, that will be another one of our East African adventures. In Kenya, we'll do the safari in Kenya, and then Ethiopia, we will do the everything that's available to be done in Ethiopia based upon whatever's going on in the country at that time. So if we can't do Ethiopia, then we'll do Kenya, Seychelles. You see how that works? So we're able to make this work based upon the availability of what's happening. But again, this is what I'm thinking about. All right, so next after that, so we have, so I've jumped to Kenya. Okay, so Senegal, I'm looking at Senegal, Morocco, because they are close in proximity to one another, and I believe Morocco is a very popular place that people want to go to. So Senegal, Morocco. Now down South Africa. Now South Africa all by itself is is this old by the time Joburg, Cape Town, and Durban. You could do all three. But then you have Zimbabwe that's really popular on that side as well. And so what I'm looking at, this is where my mind is going, South Africa, Zimbabwe. But then you also have this Botswana thing happening, and then you have Namibia around there. So that Southern Africa piece is something I'm looking at. I'm trying to see how we can partner with some folks and make that happen in South Africa, and in that whole region in Zimbabwe. Because here's the deal. I'm looking for 10 places, 10 packages, 10 tours, 10 to be able to take people to. And by doing that, what ends up happening is you're able to cover more territory. My goal is to bridge the gap between Africa and the African diaspora. And so by bringing people to experience the variety of the continent, because there's variety, it's some people. I remember, as much as I love Ghana and as much time as I spend there, if I only went to Ghana and said that's Africa, then that would be doing an injustice to the rest of the continent, because Ghana, with its many different cultures, is just one part of Africa. And so you don't have fufu in, I don't know, Egypt, or other parts of Africa. I didn't have fufu when I was in South Africa. But there was a different culture and a different vibe in South Africa that was it was equally as important and as impressive as what was going on in Ghana. So that's why you don't ever see me like pitting countries against each other and trying to say this country is better. Because when I hear people saying one country is better over the other, half the time we're arguing over where the colonial master invested more money. So we're still propping up the colonial master and saying that what they did was better. So I've learned and I've matured my conversation to appreciate every aspect of a country. Like one of the things that I enjoyed about Benin, the beaches in Benin, that is something. It was just something about the beaches in Benin that was just very different than other places. The beach in Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, just very different. Even when I was in Kenya, just the vibe in Kenya was very familiar. And it was different. So to go, now we all have our preferences, don't get me wrong. We have preferences and things that we like. But what I've learned to do is to gauge my preference. Is my preference based upon how I've been conditioned in America? And am I judging it based upon that, or am I judging it based upon something else? So the more time I spend among the people and the more time I spend on the continent and in these cultures and countries, it's like I learn to adapt, to appreciate what's in front of me versus trying to take the limitations of what I've experienced and then trying to impose that on that place and saying, well, this is better or that's better based upon. Now, granted, there's certain things, if infrastructure is obvious, if I'm used to a particular kind of infrastructure and someplace doesn't have it, then I don't even know if I can say that's better, because I don't know if infrastructure, again, we're still going back to saying that the way that somebody else did it is better than the way somebody else did it. So that's why you just don't hear me saying those types of things. Now, health-wise and cleanliness and stuff like that, I mean, if something's unhealthy and making people sick, that's a completely different story. But as far as those things that I've seen just out here, that for me, I don't gauge it like that. So that's what I'm thinking. So now, but you can still vote right there. You can vote. And when you vote, the link is below, bit.ly Africa Survey 2022. Cast your vote for the one that you think is the one. Is there a particular country that and it doesn't mean that these other countries should not be visited or anything like that. It's just that we're gauging it based upon the next. Because a lot of people will ask, well, do you have any tours scheduled to go here or there? And if there's no interest, let me just say this, it's hard enough to get people to go to the places already, because our minds have been so by media for our lifetime. And when you talk about Africa, man, if I could tell y'all I have told you some of the ignorant statements that I've heard. Do the people live in trees? Do the people Do they have cars? Do they, do they have clothes on and stuff like that? So when you're dealing with that, it's like really, even in some of my most ignorant phases of thinking about Africa, some of this stuff is like, these are human beings, so it's like, it's oh man. So anyway, that's part of why we do what we do, to create the exposure, so people can say, they can go back and they can say, okay, here's some good information, and they take it from there, and instead of running with this wild stuff that's out here. So that's the deal. Thinking about Kenya, Seychelles, Ethiopia, that's something we're thinking about. If then we're also looking at the South Africa, Zimbabwe deal, because again, South Africa alone, you could spend 3 days in Joburg, 3 in Cape Town, 3 in Durban, and then 3 in Zimbabwe. I mean, that'll give you a nice sample. And for those who want to extend it, you can extend it. So that's something that we're looking at. Senegal, you probably do a 5-day Senegal, 5-day Morocco type deal, give or take a day. I did talk about Kenya, so you would probably do 4 or something like that. Yeah, 4 Kenya, 4 Ethiopia, because if we can do Ethiopia and go to Gondor and Lalibela, it's worthwhile to spend because you got to fly and you got to travel. So 4 days there, and of course in Addis, spending time in Addis Ababa. Then Seychelles, you want to get that Indian Ocean tropical, so that's what we'd be thinking about in that case. And then what else? I got to get to Ivory Coast. I want people to experience Abidjan. So what we're looking at doing is, of course, Ghana is the gateway. So we're going to do a Ghana, Nigeria type of deal, but then also a Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire deal. And then we may do a Ghana, Liberia, Ghana, Sierra Leone. It just depends on what's happening during that time. But I want people, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about Liberia. I had some food in Atlanta from someone who is from Liberia. Went to the Village Restaurant in Lawrenceville, I believe that's where it is. And I had the best fish I've ever had in my entire existence. It was, oh man, it was the absolute best piece of fish I've had in my life. It was, I just couldn't, I was like, they call it dry rice and fish or something. That thing was so good. And so the lady who owns the restaurant, she's from Liberia. So this is not like somebody who got a Liberian recipe and tried to fake it out in America. She's like, no, she's from Liberia. She ships the food to people who want Liberian food. So for me, I got to get to Liberia and get a hold, and I got to get a hold of some of that food, because I'm telling you, whew, man, oh man, I couldn't even think straight. Sometimes the food's so good you just can't even think straight. You're just sitting there and you're just like, oh, it was just that good. So shout out to Liberia and whatever y'all got going on with the food, because it is the absolute truth. So to wrap this up, I'm not going to be too long today. Letting you know a few other things that we have coming up that you want to be a part of. We're about to do another travel show. We're going to be cranking this out all year long, because we are determined to encourage people and inspire them to visit the continent of Africa this year. So we're going to do another travel show in mid-February. So we're going to be doing that. But then also I have some interviews that are going to be exceptional. And so we have, it's a part of the series called What's Killing Us? Profits, Pills, and Potions. And so I'm going to talk about, these things. Why isn't good health emphasized over, the potions and pills and all these other things that's circulating around us to try to get us to consume that, instead of getting us to, make better dietary choices. So I have the 2 sisters from Gensation. That's right. It's a ginger drink beverage that is on the market now, from Shaylin and Sandy. So that interview is going to be coming down the pike. I've coached Nashiki Chandler from Thrive Now Wellness, and we had it's going to be a series of talks, part of that conversation that we have that I'm going to be sharing, talking about how we can improve our health and make better lifestyle choices. Then from The Color is Green, Harriet Pritchard, you will really enjoy the conversation that we had. I mean, it was a really good discussion, a very candid discussion, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. Nashiki and Harriet both are alumni from the Maximum Impact Travel Experience. And this is one of the things I do when people travel with me and trust us with their experience and have a business, then one of the things I like to do is show them love. If they have a business that is definitely something that's worthwhile, I want to make sure that the world knows about it. And both of them have platforms that will inspire you to make better lifestyle decisions. Then I have my man Jeff Austin coming, the CMOS boss. That's right. We're going to be talking about healthier lifestyle decisions as well. And this is, again, while we're talking about traveling, the reason why people can enjoy travel, you gotta be healthy to be able to do this. And so I hear oftentimes people, I can't go anywhere because I can't do this. My health is like this or that or the other. And some of this stuff is preventable, some it's not. So what we try to do is encourage people to make better health choices so they can enjoy all of this travel and they can see all these different things going on. Another thing that I'm going to be introducing in late February is going to be my Decolonization of the Mind series or course. And the reason why this is important, because so many people hit me up. All over the world. They say, Jay, we listen, we hear exactly what you're saying. We hear how you're saying it. You're breaking it down. We never considered it like that. We're glad to hear this because, this whole colonization thing, we've all been colonized. And so what I'm going to do with this course is explain to people exactly what it is and what I've had to do in this process as far as the decolonization. And again, a lot of times people hear that term and they just kind of block it out. Oh yeah, decolonization. Oh, y'all talking about that colonization stuff again, without even realizing the impact of it. And so this is a very comprehensive course to help people kind of peel back layer upon layer upon layer. And what it does is that when you start filtering this stuff out, it's like, it's just imagine if you have a fog or layers over your eyes and you start peeling it back, then you can start seeing things more clearly. And that's what begins to happen. And so those who tune in and watch and listen and travel with us, these are typically people who want to kind of break free from this stuff, and they recognize that they've lived a certain amount of time and they say something's not right here. Why do I automatically want to go to Europe, but I don't want to consider going to Africa? But I don't hear anybody who's a descendant of Europe wrestling with whether or not they want to go back to Ireland or England or France or Spain. But when you hear people who descend from Africa, it's like oh no, oh God, you sure you want? Oh, you sure? I don't want to go to Africa. Oh, I'm not African. I'm not an African. Say it again. I'm not African. Keep saying, I'm not African. I'm black. I'm not black. I'm African. I'm indigenous. I don't. That's what I got to deal with. It's that's what hits my inbox right there. All that right there, all that goes on in my inbox. It is all a result of colonization, because even all of the terms were given by someone else, all the way down to African. It was given by someone else. And so when we begin to start understanding it and saying, well, all right, this is what happened, so what am I going to do with it? Well, that's what the awakening decolonization of mind, that whole thing, what's going to happen with that is that people will begin to understand the context of the story. It's going to make people uncomfortable, but guess what? Healing comes, and sometimes before you can get healing, you got to be uncomfortable. Sometimes you got to feel the pain of sometimes if you got an infection and you got to go in that infection and you got to put antiseptic in it, or sometimes you got to, dig it out to get it out. And that's not a pleasant feeling, but the reward is on the backside of it. Once the infection is gone, now you're healed, and there might be a scar left there, but at least you don't have the infection there anymore. And that's what a lot of people are trying to do. They don't want their children to be infected anymore by this stuff. They realize how we've been infected by it. And again, it'll be some uncomfortable conversations at times, but it'll be liberating at the same time. So so that's what the decolonization of mind, the whole awakening course is going to be about. And so we're going to be having some good stuff coming up in 2022, and it's going to help people on all across the world. And that's the thing, all across the world, this information. That's why it's important for you to like, subscribe, share, let people know what's going on in Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron, because we are putting actions to what we're doing. That's why you see us bridging the gap actively. That's why you see us taking people to the continent and encouraging and inspiring people to go to the continent and telling a different narrative. That's what's happening. And so because of that, we're finding ourselves with many more people who are waking up and doing what they need to do. So anyway, don't forget, join me in Atlanta, June 2nd through the 5th at the Black Travel Expo. But then I'll be back in Ghana, March 25th through April 1st. And March 25th through April 1st. And so we're going to look to do a meetup there. If you would like to travel with us, you can still do that by going to MaximumImpactTravel.com to find out about how you can be a part of our March tour to Ghana. That's right, because, hey, you go in March, you might want to go to Tanzania in July, or you might want to go to Egypt in October. So who knows? But be a part of the Maximum Impact Travel experience. That's the one thing I tell you. It is not a tour. It is an experience. And we give 110% to make sure that you have the very best experience. So with all of that said, let me leave out another thing we got as I get ready to close out. Check this out, because we got some content coming. That's all I got to say. We got some content coming your way that I believe you will thoroughly enjoy this year. Had a chance to hang out in Atlanta. I guess Atlanta keeps coming up. I'm going to be in Atlanta in June twice. So that's cool. And then we'll do some more footage. I'm going to try to get back to Atlanta one more time before I go back over to Ghana. But we got some stuff coming up in Ghana, some more interviews in Ghana, and just a lot happening. And again, want to thank everybody for their support, for their kind words, and even those who don't have kind words. Thank you, because it keeps the iron sharp, and it helps us to realize some of the different perspectives that are out here in the world. So here's a sneak peek inside of something that we just shot in Atlanta, and much more on the way. So don't forget to go ahead and cast your vote for which countries we should add next. Take a look. The link is in the description, bit.ly, Africa Survey 2022. Let us know your thoughts. And until next time, take care, be safe. More on the way.
What's going on, y'all? This is Aaron Faulkner, Creative Director with 5 Points Media. We are in Bedhead Studios with my good friend, mentor, big brother. I mean, you could just call him Slash. He does so much, man. My guy, Jay Cameron.
Man, well, first, I want to thank you for inviting me into your space. And I'm so impressed, and that's why I wanted to make sure I came here, because just seeing the journey has been over 20 years. So I'm thankful for being here, but I really wanted to come here and talk about this journey.
We're here to talk about Maximum Impact Travel, but I know you as a playwright. You know, you do financial seminars, summer camps. It's just you see opportunities and you're able to maximize potential in anything. And you've always been somebody that I've looked to for inspiration in anything that I'm doing, because it's like, okay, how can you maximize your space in whatever you're doing?
Right now, I can't wait to get to him and have a conversation with him and his mom about this.
This play was really inspirational. I've been stressing about college and I don't know what I was going to do, but now it gave me hope.
I sat and texted at least 10 of my friends in the middle of the play to let them know that they need to come out. Thank you, Jay Cameron. I really appreciate it. This message was not just for the children, but it was for the parents as well.
College Fever is truthful. It tells you how it is and how it goes.
And this is my third time seeing this play. I think everybody should see it.
And if I would have heard this in 2009 before I went to school, it would have been a whole different ball game.
Webster defines fever as a rise in body temperature above the normal, or a state of heightened or intense emotion or activity. So when young adults race to begin the college journey, to break from the confines of the parental monopoly, to meet new friends, hang out and party, to pledge, pursue athletics, or just absorb as much knowledge as you can possibly, that person is on fire, hot and shivering. 4 years later, you're burning to pursue the career promise, yet you've been deceived, set up and trapped in your promise. Your tunnel vision blinded you to the ambush on the other side. You're the receiver of the deceiver. you've been diagnosed with college weak.
You have been selected for admissions in the course of business administration for the fall semester. We are proud and excited as our students charge towards their future with passion and vigor. You should have planned better. You knew this day was coming, and now you have nothing for me like the rest of these parents. You are so evil.
If any reason Esperanza doesn't make it to Atlanta with you, I'll make sure you're very well taken care of.
I can't believe I spent 8 years of college to end up here.
You mean we could lose everything?
Sheriff's Department, you have a serious situation.
What made you say, you know, I'm gonna go climb Kilimanjaro?
When I went to Ghana, I knew that there was something missing.
Why'd you go to Ghana? What started the whole?
What started the whole thing was curiosity. And I did the ancestry, DNA, then I did African ancestry. Then when I was doing the whole Uber experiment, I was meeting all these people from Africa. And there was this one young lady from Ethiopia, and then she told me, oh, this Ethiopia is this great place, you need to go. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, whatever, okay, I'm gonna go one day on my bucket list. But then I did the ancestry, and this whole piece about Africa kept coming up in my mind. And then I just decided to do it. I said, I'm gonna stop waiting around, I'm gonna do it. From there, went to Ghana, and the first thing that hit me is that, wait a minute, there's something I wasn't told.
Just had lunch, and we are getting ready to start this journey. We're getting a lot more footage along the way, so stay tuned.
So we made it to the top after the rock scramble. Life above the clouds is completely different. Behind me is the summit. We're on our way. We are in a cloud. That's what's happening.
I'm dressed like a handmaid.
This is literally like from another planet.
Wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata.